What's good, YouTube? It's your boy J Man. Back again at a video, a banger for y'all today, man. Today we got Amelia, man. Cynthia's GLAAD speech is Masterclass in Victimhood. We're gonna check it out, man, and see her perspective on her speech that she gave, accepting the award that she had gotten not so long ago. So we're gonna check it out, man, and see what's going on.
Hello, all you she, hers, he, hims, and they, thems. And yes, I must mention the they, thems so as not to erase Cynthia Erivo. We know that somebody erased Cynthia in the past, and that did not work out well. And the reason we cannot erase Cynthia Erivo in today's video is because we must address her. I mean, them. Cynthia Erivo on this Trans Day of Visibility has to be discussed because she accepted an award at the GLAAD Awards. And in that acceptance speech, she gave such a narcissistic outlook on herself and on her they them pronouns. So we are going to have to stop holding space for defying gravity to hold space for a discussion about Cynthia Erivo and they them pronouns. Now, before we get into this speech, I'll read you what she accepted. This was at the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation on March 27th, where the British performer Cynthia Erivo accepted the Stephen F. Colzack Award. Now, Stephen F. Colzack is a man who worked in Hollywood and was fighting against homophobia and AIDS phobia at the time, and they've since been awarding this to somebody in Hollywood who they feel like is fighting the good fight on behalf of LGBTQ plus people. Now, Cynthia Erivo is lesbian. She's in a relationship with Lena Waithe. And of course, her big rise to prominence in Hollywood has been her being Elphaba in Wicked. And she's been on the victimhood mixed with narcissism pedestal platform ever since. And she chose to keep it up at the GLAAD Awards. When I tell you, I've seen Cynthia Erivo. I've listened to Cynthia Erivo. I've seen her best moments, her worst moments. This takes the cake as far as the worst moment. And I'm going to see if you guys see the narcissism that I'm recognizing when I watch this. My jaw was almost on the floor. Okay, let's listen to Cynthia.
It isn't easy. None of it is. Waking up and choosing to be yourself. Proclaiming a space belongs to you when you don't feel welcomed. Teaching people on a daily basis how to address you, and dealing with the frustration of reteaching people a word that has been in the human vocabulary since the dawn of time. They, them.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Words used to describe pedantically two or more people, poetically, a person who is simply more. It isn't easy to ask people to treat you with dignity since you should just have it because it's a given. It isn't easy to learn to grow who you are if the world around you is knocking at your door, telling you to stay inside.
Okay. I've heard enough. I've heard enough. First of all, the leftist condescension speak that we see time and time again holds true in this very video with Cynthia. And she's talking down to a group of people whilst functionally just moving outside of reality with these they, them pronouns and wanting to be referred to as non-binary. We all know that Cynthia Erivo is a woman. Her pronouns are she, her, if you're going to use them. It's not they, them. She is, in fact, not non-binary, for we know that being non-binary doesn't exist. But she goes even further than that. Instead of depicting herself as equal to other individuals, as we are all human beings living in one world together, attempting to coexist with one another, she refers to herself as more. She makes the point, because they and them are words used to refer to multiple people, that she is somehow more. And of course, this could just be a little tongue-in-cheek way of saying we could look at they, them pronouns differently and start to value these unique individuals that refer to themselves as non-binary. But in looking at the character development of Cynthia Erivo and giving her a little bit of psychoanalysis, I truly believe that this woman believes that she is more than other human beings. You can hear it in the way that she speaks to people, in the condescension, in the way that she swings her weight around, in the way that she views her career, in the way that she perceives herself as a Black woman who is also queer and also trans, non-binary, or whatever identity marker she's using at any given moment. But Cynthia, you are not more than any other human being who is walking around on this earth. And that's exactly why a lot of people have problems with they, them pronouns, because everyone else walks around referring to each other as we have referred to each other for almost all of human history. And you, in all of your uniqueness and talent and the very little pedestal that you bring around to stand upon, think that you deserve to be referred to as some made-up pronouns that you've pulled out of thin air because you are what? More than other people? I'm sorry, I don't think so. And we've seen this sort of victimization from Cynthia Erivo many times before, and she's been given the platform to really push for that on the heels of Wicked coming out and her being this big star playing Alphaba. And we cannot deny Cynthia Erivo's talent, but the talent does not warrant all the other stuff we're getting out of Cynthia Erivo's mouth. Now, I'm going to show you a clip of her talking about Wicked and the impact that it's had on her, and specifically addressing Black people and how she feels like Alphaba is emblematic of the Black experience. Let's watch.
Cynthia, what do you hope inspires and sparks our soars? And what are you most excited for them to experience in this film?
Because I'm amongst family, I can say this. That's up there. That's us. Yeah. Alphaba is every single one of us in this room.
Mind you, I have to pause. She said, because I'm amongst family, because she's in a room of Black people. So, Black people means family because we share same skin color. Ohana means family. Black means family.
She faces a lot of adversity. She faces a lot that she has to struggle to come through. But the thing that she does is discover that the one thing she needs to do is stay true to who she is. And that's how she discovers how powerful she is. I know that every single one of us in here has had to deal with that. I know we deal with it almost every single day. But please trust and believe that if you just stay true to who you are, you will get to where you want to be.
Okay, there we go. I feel like it's just the same song and dance over and over again. Honestly, I can't really tell the difference between anything that Cynthia just said in that clip and anything we've heard from, I don't know, Rachel Zegler on the Snow White PR tour. It's like we take a particular facet of the victimhood mentality that we have in America these days, and we just plop it into a movie, and then the star of that movie runs around talking to people of that demographic about their victimhood and about how this particular movie makes them feel powerful. And that same person who is an actress who should be taking on a role lets all of their personal politics influence that role, and they run with it, and they condescend towards people, and they tell them what they deserve as a human being because they're more of a human being than other human beings are. It's really no different. And of course, we saw this with Cynthia Erivo in the whole Wicked poster controversy, which if you don't remember this, I'm going to give you a little bit of a refresher. So Cynthia Erivo reacted to some edits that went viral of the Wicked poster. This was the original Wicked poster, okay? And then a fan on TikTok decided to edit the Wicked poster to make it look more like what the original Broadway poster for the Wicked musical looked like. And that's what it looked like. There you go, at the bottom here. Now, Cynthia Erivo responded and said, "This is the wildest, most offensive thing I have seen. Equal to that awful AI of us fighting. Equal to people posing the question, is your P-word green? None of this is funny. None of it is cute. It degrades me. It degrades us. The original poster is an illustration. I am a real-life human being. And don't forget, she's more of a human being." We can add that on now that we know that she thinks that. Who chose to look right down the barrel of the camera to you, the viewer, who is less than her. Let me remind you that. Because without words, we communicate with our eyes. Our poster is an homage, not an imitation. To edit my face and hide my eyes is to erase me, and that is just deeply hurtful. Okay. Cynthia Erivo needs to, I think, let her talent speak for itself. She needs to do the movie, she needs to act, she needs to do it to the best of her abilities, and I think she needs to leave her identity out of things, but she can't seem to do that. She seems to make everything about her and about how she wants to be perceived and about how she wants to be treated, and she wants to be treated vastly different to any other human being that is walking around us. And the amount of narcissism and ego that you have to not only request that, but to demand that, I cannot imagine. But there is a lot, and I can see it in every time I see Cynthia speak. And if you think about Cynthia's personality and her career, you really do have this perfect cocktail for making a narcissistic individual. I think she is immensely talented, as I said before. There's no denying that. And I think she thinks that talent needs to be recognized by everybody around her. And she is on that meteoric trajectory now, but I think she thinks that that might have come a little bit late, or that her career might have been curtailed by different facets of her identity that society isn't yet ready to accept, because that is the narrative that Black women, and in her case, non-binary people, receive. That's what they're told, that they don't really have a leg up in this society. So now that she's gaining success and being recognized for her talent, she has the identity to lean back on as a bit of a crutch, but also something that she's overcome in the industry. And she wants to do that for other Black women and talk about this struggle. She wants to do it for other non-binary people, and she feels a great sense of pride in doing exactly that. There is a lot of self-centeredness deep within Cynthia Erivo, and she's letting it shine very brightly in this video. And what I'll say to her is, Cynthia, you're a Broadway star. You're a movie star. You are a multi-millionaire. I think you're doing fine. I don't think you're oppressed because of your chosen they-them pronouns, a bit of oppression that you actively chose, if there is even any oppression at all, to place on yourself. I think you're doing just fine. And if your victimhood can transcend the multi-million-dollar career that you've made in both Broadway and movies, it's going to transcend all. So maybe the common denominator is you and not oppression. Maybe we need to rethink and reframe our mindset to understand that you're probably not being victimized at all. And you deserve a lot on the basis of your talent, and I congratulate you for your role in Wicked, and you did a great job, but no more of this, please. Because it's just not true, and it comes off as so uniquely tone deaf. You're uniquely talented, and you're uniquely tone deaf. Now, before I go too far, at least I didn't erase Cynthia Erivo. She got the spotlight in this video, which is, I think, exactly what Cynthia Erivo wants. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Leave your comments down below and let me know how you feel about this clip. As always, if you disagree with anything I said, do get out, but do so.
That was under the video, man. From what she said, I definitely agree with Amelia on this one. That's definitely a selfish woman. You done made all this money, well, you make all this money, and like how she said, the talent is transcend through all that. I don't think it's any of that bullshit. I think it's just her. She just want everything about herself, and she want the attention, so she got it. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Share this video. I'm Sally for this video. Your boy out, man. Peace.